kind permission of the experts, as we are inviting limited speakers. So with kind permission of speakers, I would like to start the event with Ishwar Stuti. Please allow me for 5 minutes, 2 minutes only.
विघ्नेश्वराय वरदाय सुरः प्रियाय लंबोदराय सकलाय जगद्हिताय नागाननाय श्रुतियज्ञ विभूषिताय गौरीसुताय गणनाथ नमो नमस्ते कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्राव्रता या वीणा वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्मा च्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते आविर्बभूव कलशं दधदर्ण वाद्यः पीयूषपूर्ण ममरात्वकृते सुराणां रोगजालजीर्ण जनताजनितः प्रशंसो धन्वन्तरिच भगवान् भविकाय भूयात् श्री धन्वन्तराय नमः। ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम शांति।
Namaskar. Welcome. On behalf of Independent Research Ethics Society, International Institute for Research, Education and Skill, Vishwa Ayurved Parsad, Imami and Jhandu. I would like to welcome you all dignitaries here. Really, today's session will be great learning for us. I would like to introduce myself, Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma, MD in 89 from Jamnagar, and then joined Imami, and now I am Vice President of Imami, retired but on extension. So this is my small brief involved in clinical research, product development, medical marketing of Ayurvedic products of all categories. So I am really blessed today by the gracious presence of Professor Haridra Daveji. He is our resource person from the starting of journey. Dr. B.G. Gokulam sir, welcome, 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 sir. In short notice, you are blessing us. This we are fortunate. And Madam Santa Kumari ji, welcome, Swagatam. I am really blessed by your valuable support by which we have been able to reach the milestone of 278 webinars within 1.5 years. This YouTube channel was started on 20th May, and after that we have started so many webinars. Initially, these webinars were on the clinical topics, initially on corona, then clinical topics, and then Lord Shiva has enlightened our path and instructed to celebrate every day. This is new concept for Ayush, and we are correlating every day with Ayush. This is the uniqueness of this Ayush Samriddhi platform. Day before yesterday, on 1st January, the Global Family Day was there. So with the blessings of 15 countries, dignitaries have blessed us on the topic Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Today is World Braille Day, that is for blindness, and this is the right topic on this day to celebrate that how to prevent blindness by Ayurveda. So this will be a great learning. I would like to request today's moderator, two moderators, Dr. Parikshit Devnath, and we have Dr. Jayesh Thakkar here, our resource person, my younger brother. So Jayesh Thakkar will also help. Dr. Parikshit Devnath, he is also MD MPhil and Dean of new institute. So he is the moderator today. Now I would like to request Dr. Parikshit Devnath to start the event by invitation of our senior guests.
Namaste and welcome all experts to today's program. Today we are celebrating, or what I say, we can say that we are on the 278 webinar series of Ayush Samriddhi, and today is International Braille Day. So regarding that topic, today in our webinar series, we'll be celebrating on blindness. So prevention of blindness through Ayurveda. This will be today's topic of discussion, and I am very pleased to say we all have been blessed with the dignitaries present here, all the Ayurveda experts here. So, not wasting time, I will like to invite Dr. Haridra Dave sir. He is a very senior physician, Ayurvedic physician, and he is presently the director of ITM Ayurvedic Hospital and Research Center from Gujarat. With his vast and immense experience in Ayurveda and especially regarding to the Netra Rogas, I would like to invite you, sir. Sir, please join us and put your valuable knowledge and enlighten us with your speech. Thank you, sir. Please, the dais is yours, sir.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to open it. Video is not opening, so I'll just go with my audio. Is it clear? Is it okay? All the host members and honorable guests and my dear fellow doctors. It's so unfortunate to not able to see my face. Actually, something technical error has taken place. It is a very honorable time and occasion to address all of you in this great day of Braille. So it was so quite surprising as well to have a notice yesterday or day before. So until then, I was not aware of such a program going national-wide. Anyhow, I'm so happy to join all of you. To me, it was a passion joining this eye care in Ayurveda. When I had come out of Ayurveda college in 1988, the time when there was no awareness about Ayurveda properly, not to mention about eye care then. So we had a platform, a national platform called Lok Swasthya Parampara Samardhan Samiti, through which a revival of Ayurveda was actually planned. And accordingly, many students for final years were delegated for various branches of Ashtanga Ayurveda. And upon my mother's, who is a healer in eye, who was a healer in eye, I was selecting the branch of ophthalmology. So it was that time I realized that there are no much dignitaries in the field. I had to walk around length and breadth of Kerala to find out few people. Some are busy, some are aged, some are not able to promote that way. So many hurdles were there. Then I had a guru nearby where I am practicing right now. He is no more. Namaskar. So meanwhile, after about two years there, I was chosen to be trained at Shankara Netralaya, where Dr. S.S. Badrinath, Padma Vibhushan Dr. S.S. Badrinath came to us for a collaborative research work in Ayurveda ophthalmology. So he was impressed by the Ayurveda. He is also very ardent Ayurveda fan. So he immediately agreed for inviting me to a 1-year course over there, Shankara Netralaya, which was really an eye-opener, I should say now. Because now we have many colleges very well prepared and very well arranged and teaching ophthalmology, whereas the time when I am just talking about 3-4 decades ago, that was not a actual time. So that gave me a lot of insight into various eye diseases and its shortcomings in modern medicine. That was a very important point I would like to state. The 12 months in Shankara Netralaya in 12 various departments, it was really something which was giving us an idea about how far they are able to treat eye diseases. Whereas we could generate our potential in treating various eye disorders as well. So that was a wonderful opportunity to see their shortcomings and highlight our possibilities in area of ophthalmology. So over these 3-4 decades, I had come across many patients, those who are, majority of my patients were those who are left out from the modern, as everybody experiences many times. So there, much relief could be, or much solace could be offered by Ayurvedic therapies and practice, which had gained much of confidence. Am I audible? Is it okay? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir, you're okay, sir. Yes, very clearly, sir.
So that had given me a
last specific time that Ayurveda I was with the integration of modern medical planning and diagnostic techniques, I can say
Kulan sir, you have joined from 2 devices. That's why the sound is not coming properly. Okay, sir.
some voices are coming.
Now it's little bit hazy. Sound is coming.
My sound?
Yes, sir, it's coming. Okay.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
network
sir, your
issues.
sound is okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Unfortunate. I don't know because it is very 100 Mbps speed, but I don't know. Sometimes it makes problems. So
I'm
another
screen I am
Yes, sir, you are visible now also.
Among these 3 decades of time, it was significant diseases which I could manage or I could come up with is that macular degeneration, age-related macular degeneration, and many cases, majority of the cases were short sight in children, myopia in children, and of late we had come across more than 100 cases of keratoconus. So these 3 areas, besides diabetic retinopathy, these 3 areas I am concentrating now more, which had tremendously given a booster experience, like the visual outcome in all these 3 categories were very promising. And many of the cases were given for retro documentation. And Amrita Institute is already taken up the cases under Dr. Ram Manohar, one of the eminent research methodologists in India in Ayurveda. So they have taken up these cases for a retro submission in the research journals. And
I write what I find in Ayurvedic. Most of the
what I find visually seeing improvement, the visual improvement, because in macular degeneration, wet macular degeneration, they globally advise you for a intravitreal ranibizumab injections. So all these injections, 40 injections, 50 injections, 70 injections over so many years, they have not fetched any result in giving them better eyesight, which had been possible with Ayurvedic therapies for about just a week's time. So that was a very tremendous feeling. That's a very promising feeling also. Uh, and with all our simple Ayurvedic methods, we were able to improve their sight, which is most important, I believe. Above all other research parameters, the vision improvement in an eye patient is very significant and very important, so which we have been able to gain through Ayurvedic medicines and therapeutic methods with eye exercise and other methodologies. So this I would like to highlight here for the benefit of the younger generation in Ayurveda practicing ophthalmology. So this is a long journey of a very hardship time, because it is not, the times are not so popular, not so favorable to Ayurveda 3 decades back. So that is that time we were able to fight it out, and we could come out with a significant results and promising results and better management methodology in Ayurveda. I am using this equipment only for documentation purpose basically, and also to examine personally what is inside the eye, because earlier times we did not have any examination tools for seeing inside the eyes, the retina and all. So especially the cases like diabetic retinopathy and other things, we need to have some examination tools besides the latest technologies like OCT and all. So that is to give the intracellular details. So these equipments we use, for example, the Snellen's chart or vision chart is all used before and after treatments to document the cases properly. So that way, these number of cases which are non-surgically possible, because the surgeries are not at all advised here. Even the macular degeneration, macular hole, or diabetic maculopathy, macular edema, all those things, the surgeries are not possible. Whereas in short sight also surgeries are not possible. Whereas in high myopia, they advise surgery.
cases, agree with the like the retina is weak. The retina is weak and the
Surgical detachment may happen, or the total visual loss may happen. So it is very guarded prognosis to go for a surgery in high myopia. Even LASIK also has its own limitations for a refractive index like -10, -12. So beyond that, it's very difficult, and multiple LASIK attempts are not good. Multiple surgeries on eye also not good, as you all aware. So these areas, Ayurveda could very well catch up with the patients and fill up the gap in a better manner, than what modern Ayurvedic practices. With all this global research and millions of investment in the research, and we have just our own clinical practices only. We have our clinical methodologies only, not too much heavy funding into the research area. Though there are some good lights are coming up from Ayush Ministry with the recent 5-6 years. So this is what I would like to highlight in this August meeting, just to mm, just to mainstream the important significance of Ayurveda in protecting the sight, because the best reason for blindness in the world is still it is the cataract, especially in the Asian countries. And then it goes for the short sight. Short sight, being the 3-4 decades, the short sight has become a very general reason for low vision in children. And lifestyle disorders like diabetes and all causes, hypertension causes diabetic retinopathy, hypertensive retinopathy. So these things can be better handled in Ayurveda as well. Even sometimes maybe better than the modern medicine. So these are the experience what I have gained all these years, and that is what I have to offer right now at this late time. So I do not want to take too much of time about it. So what I adopt the technology or technique or the therapeutic methods is just nothing but the textual references as well as our Yukti. Vaidya Yukti has been incorporated here. The medicines which you make are slightly modified with according to my insight into these problems and the patient's doshas. So these are the usual procedures. Besides, a novel treatment approach has been introduced here by me about 25 years back, on 1995. That is the massaging over the closed eyelids with a satay chawal poultice. Just like what we do in satay chawal poultice in the body with the smaller shira and satay chawal, Shashtiga. So this small portly is made and massaging over the eyes is done. What we successfully do in cases of astigmatism and the keratoconus patients. So initially, keratoconus patients were too much what you call apprehensive to see, because the doctors advised them not to rub too much of eyes in order to avoid the rupture of the cornea. Whereas this method of treatment, in this therapy with the Shastika, is not a rubbing. So I make them aware, and we do the therapy, and we find a lot of difference in corneal curvature as well as nourishing the cornea. And also, some of the cases have shown improved corneal thickness. So this is one of the special treatment which I have introduced other than the textual therapies. So Shastika Pinda Mrta Sweda is something what significantly fetches good result in keratoconus and high astigmatism, especially in younger or even adults also. So keratoconus, as you are aware, cases come from 15, 16 years old to 35 years, 30 years like that. So any age limit, the end result, what we find is the improvement of vision. Maybe one line, maybe two lines, 3-4 lines. So the longest experience I have is about more than 7 years. We settled in US right now. He had come here to me before 7 years for keratoconus treatment with a limited vision, and he enjoys the 6x6, 20x20 vision even after 7 years living in US. And he had come given me an review after 5 years with a improved vision or with a 20/20 vision. So these areas we need to promote very much in the society and the fraternity and also to the public. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. I see Dr. Chandakumari ma'am, so she may be more able to get her insights and theoretical approaches what a clinician should do. So as a clinician, basically I am limited with my voice. Thank you so much, Praveen Kumar Chamaji and Daveji, and all the August audience for listening to me. And Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. Your inspiring voice.
Thank you, Dr. Gokulam sir. And it's been a pleasure hearing you. And we have been hearing that how you are treating patients with different difficulties and different problems in your clinics and professional as a eye physician. Thank you, sir, for your experience and sharing with us. And we'll be again troubling you with your experience and knowledge. Again, join us in future. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. P.K. Santakumari ma'am. She at present is the founder and chief physician of Matha Ayurveda Eye Hospital and also the chairman of Matha Ayurveda Healthcare Private Limited. Madam doesn't need any introduction because she is a very senior faculty and also an expert in eye diseases. She had been attached with many eye hospitals and as also a teacher. She has been professor for many years and as a scientist also, as a teacher also, she has more than 50 publications. Madam, we are very much pleased to have you here. I would like to invite you to give us your knowledge and share your knowledge with us. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, the dais is yours.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. And I am Dr. Santakumari.
Swagatam.
Am I audible?
It can be little.
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay, now how is it? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are clearly audible.
Okay. Now I am really thankful to the organizers for inviting me to participate in this great event and to share my opinion and my thoughts with you. And really congratulate them for selecting this particular topic on this particular day of daily day. Okay, then coming to the topic, everybody know blindness is the greatest or the most pathetic condition of a human being. And that is why in our text, classical text, it is mentioned that Vertho logoyam tulyaratran divanam pumsam andhanam. That means this life is meaningless for a person who is blind. And so itself, we have to do whatever possible to avoid blindness. Chakshur rakshayam sarvakalam manushe yatna kartavyo jivide yavadicha. That means those who decide to have a life in this world, he has to do something seriously to protect his vision. Because we know more than 75% of wisdom we gain in this world is through our sense organ, that is eye, this particular organ. But in fact, what happens, in spite of all the modern technologies, all the advanced medical systems, all the steps taken by our governments time to time, the number of blind is increasing day by day. In our country, the situation is very, very bad. Everybody know. So I think it is the responsibility of a person to protect his vision, and it is the duty of a health worker, or especially those who are working in a field of ophthalmology, to take necessary steps to avoid the blindness. So we are more interested in that. And now what I am speaking here is from my experience in this field for the last 40 years. Exactly from 1982 onwards, when I completed my PG in Chanakya. And from that onwards, I am in the field of Netra Chikitsa. And so what I am saying may be from my personal opinion sometimes, but I am always sticking on to the theory. Now, when we think of the avoidance of blindness, we have to take two aspects with equal importance. One is the preventive measures. That means and some habitual factors or some simple medication that can be used as a routine practice in our life so that our eye can be made more healthy and to prevent the serious diseases which are possible or just enabled to develop blindness. That is one section. Second section is to enlist and find out the diseases which are possible to lead to total blindness. And we have to implement the necessary remedial steps. That means one is preventive sector, second is curative sector. Both equally important. Now coming to first section, that is preventive. There are so many some simple things which are mentioned in our Dinacharya, which has much influence on the eye. First comes Abhyangam. Abhyangam ajare nityam sajara shrama vadaha drishti prasadam pushtyayasam, so many other things also. So daily practice of Abhyangam, especially Shirashravana Padeshu, that is mentioned in our text. And this will make our eyes more healthy and is capable of preventing the onset of eye diseases. But to select a suitable oil for Abhyangam is not a simple thing. Each person has to be examined by an eye specialist or at least a general physician to find which oil is suitable for him. And if it is for the prevention of eye disease, the ingredient should be chakshusha in nature and suitable for that body constitution or dosha prakriti of that particular person. That is the Abhyangam. Next comes Anjanam. Saviram Anjanam Nityam Yojayet. That means we had to apply Anjanam, to practice Anjanam as a daily routine practice. And it is capable of to keep our functional capacity of the eye. But we have to induce Rasanjanam once in a week. That is Saptaratra Rasanjanam Sravanarthe. That means eye is always having the dominance of Pitta. So the accumulation of Kapha is a dangerous factor always. It will lead to some dangerous diseases. So Chakshus Tejamayam Tasya Visheshal /Madhu Bhayam. It is always accumulation or dominance of Kapha is not preferable. If it happens, of course, there will be some dangerous diseases. So we have to do Anjanam as per the theory as a routine practice. This will help us to avoid development of serious eye diseases, which is capable of leading to blindness. Like that, there are Nasyam is the next one. Nasyam we know, Nasaki Sadharam, because it is the main orifice of the head region, and any medicine applied through the nasal cavity is capable of reaching the concerned structures, anatomical, functional structures, and to make it more healthy. So we can select some Chatushya type of nasal drops and apply it and practice it daily. It will, of course, help to prevent some serious type of eye diseases. And there are some other simple things which are Netra Sega, Ashtodhana, etc. These are to be selected for a particular person by an expert. So these steps, Abhyangam, Sirabhyangam, and then Anjanam, then Nasyam, and then Netra Sega, and simple Ashtodhanas, and this type of procedures will help us to protect our vision. That is first section, preventive measures. Then comes the second section, very serious division, that is avoid the diseases or treat. It is not avoid, but to avoid blindness by treating serious type of eye diseases with appropriate medicine or other measures. So we have to find out which are the diseases that are capable of leading to blindness. Everybody knows cataract comes the first, but these surgical methods that everybody knows, I am not going to that section. Then comes, we have to, allopathy and all other systems are, especially allopathy is handling cataract surgery in a great level. So it is not the contribution of Ayurveda alone. But there are some areas where Ayurveda can take an upper hand in the treatment session. And in the present scenario, some diseases, especially macular degeneration and then diabetic retinopathy and corneal pathologies, and also degenerative type high myopia. These are the areas we have to take care. We have to consider seriously because these are all capable of leading to blindness and most often irreversible. So we have to find out and list these diseases and then give appropriate treatment in time. That is very important, in time. Most of these are degenerative in nature. So we know degenerated cells are very difficult to get regenerated. But to avoid the degeneration is most important. So how can, it is very easy to say, but not easy to implement practically. We can take one by one, and it is not time enough to describe everything. But macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, and corneal pathologies, and this high myopia leading to degenerative changes, and these are all capable of developing blindness. So macular degeneration, of course, Ayurveda has the upper hand in my experience of the last 40 years. And we had to analyze the particular type of macular degeneration, whether it is wet type or dry type. And there we have to, if you're doing Ayurvedic treatment, we had to analyze it on the basis of Ayurvedic principles. That means Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And then we can start the treatment accordingly. Always in dry macular degeneration, Vata has a dominance. And wet type, it is with sudden onset may happen, and sudden blindness also may happen sometimes. Leakage of fluid and vast hemorrhage, etc., may happen in the macular area. So, but in experience, expert hand can handle it successfully. And only Ayurveda can give the permanent results, that I am sure, because we are handling that type of cases daily. So these the different types of Shirodharas and this Netra Tarpana and Shirolabana and even Shirovasti. This cannot be done the same thing for all people. We have to consider the body constitution dosha prakriti and the particular Vigrada dosha at that time. These are to be considered. And if you're handling like that, success is 100%. Then diabetic retinopathy also is of the same type. Since it is a complication of diabetes, control of diabetes is the first step. But there are different stages to diabetic retinopathy condition. There may be stage of bleeding, sometimes stage of only congested vessels, and then the clots, development of clots, and other things. Then macular edema, or even retinal detachments may happen. So all these stages are different. So the same treatment is not possible on the basis of the term diabetic retinopathy. If it is bleeding, we have to do something to arrest the bleeding first. That means Raktasthambana Chikitsa. And then Pitta will be the dominant factor. And if it is an edema condition, macular edema like that, we have to drain out the fluids. Kapha also will come into the picture, and we have to do some Shobhakara Chikitsa at that time. If it is already clotted and it is encircling the vitreous humor, then we have to melt the clots, and then we have to do some Shodhana Chikitsa. So here all, that is why all the people are not getting good result by when handling the retinopathy cases. It is not the diagnosis suitable for an Ayurvedic treatment. But we need not a particular diagnostic term. We can say this is Pitta dominant condition of a diabetic complication of an eye. That much is enough. Or this is a Vata Pitta condition of the eye. Or it's a Rakta Sravana condition. Or like that we can diagnose. Then it is easy to start the treatment. If you're doing like that, we can protect that eye from being blind. That is sure. Then degenerative myopia, it is very common nowadays, especially during this COVID season. all children are in front of the mobile and the laptop, and the condition is very, incidence is very high. So the progress of the disease is very common, and the different types of methods now in practice, and contact lenses and the spectacles, and then LASIK, and then blinding the lens inside the eye. There are so many methods. Nowadays, another method also is there to put pressure lens for some time. So the next day it will be normal. To by pressure, the cornea is pressed inward, so that the distance, the anteroposterior distance will be less, and it will make some benefit for the betterment in myopia. But it is only temporary. Sometimes only for 12 hours or 18 hours like that. Usually they put it in the night and the morning. That day it will be okay. The next night they have to again put it. Like that it goes. So that type of condition, we need not wait for a LASIK up to 19 years. We can start it. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Then some changes is showing on my screen. That is why I am asking. So we can give, if a degenerative condition, we can say that there is Pitta and Vata in dominance. But if it is a Kapha dominant child, the picture again changes. Anyway, we can arrest the progress of the disease very easy, and it is very gradually the improvement of vision is very appreciable. It is possible in Ayurveda. Hundreds and hundreds of children are treated in our center, and they're getting good vision, and they're even sometimes they'll be coming with for a purpose of test to be a pilot or in a defense section like that. But improvement of vision is really possible, and really possible only in Ayurveda, I can say something. Otherwise, they're waiting to get a treatment up to 19 years for a LASIK or mechanical aids. If they're going for some LASIK and other things, there are complications like dryness. There is a possibility, dryness of the eye like that. So that is very blessing. It's a bless of Ayurveda for the children, especially. Then these different types of corneal pathologies, that is very important nowadays, especially dryness of the eye, and then keratoconus. And here also the main problem is the structural damage or structural weakness of the eye, especially cornea. There will be thinning of the cornea, so that it will be protruding outward and making vision problems. And in later, when it becomes complicated, the only solution is keratoplasty. So many patients are coming. I am recommended for keratoplasty. Is there any method in Ayurveda like that? So there are methods. If you are considering it in according to principle, according to Ayurvedic principle, it is not at all a serious thing. We can handle it. We are handling it. So we can nourish. Anyway, the cornea is a live tissue, just like any other structures of our body. It has its own metabolism, its growth, nourishment, etc. So any medicinal treatment will give good results. That is happening. So to nourish the cornea is the first step, and then bring it in normal state by pressure bandage, or like just like Dr. Gogulan told that Nyavara, like that applications. And I used to give all these things, but sometimes the pressure bandage gives very good result, and yes, external applications like a Pindi also give good results, and Tarpanam like treatment also good, but it varies from person to person. So like this, thanks, we can control the corneal disorders and protect him from being blind. So these are the some of the things. Then there are some RP like, where we can delay the deterioration and become longer period of vision, and most often we can avoid being blind. Then other types of artery occlusion, venous occlusion, these are also capable of developing a blindness, but it can be controlled with appropriate Ayurvedic methods. The only thing is we have to get the appropriate correct diagnosis on Ayurvedic basis and analyze the signs and symptoms on the basis of Vata, Pitta, Kapha, etc., the Ayurvedic principles. So it is easy to handle it and we can protect the vision of that particular person. So I am recommending all the Ayurvedic doctors to follow the Ayurvedic methods on the basis of Ayurvedic principle. That is very important. Then it is easy to protect the vision of an eye patient. So time is over. I think I was given only 20-25 minutes. It is over. So once again, I am thankful to the organizers for giving a chance to share my thoughts with you. And thank you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam. Excellent. You have enlightened us. So this is really a new avenue for us because we are not practicing much for eyes here. Only eye drops, etc., are being prescribed here. These are also OTC, not made as per the classical methods. So really, we appreciate you, your Dr. Gokulan, that you are bearing a torch of eye care in all over India, and really, your fame and dignity is there to enlighten us, to inspire the young society also. So I am very much pleased and I am very much grateful to you, speakers, really, because we are celebrating every day. So minimum time is provided to the speakers. I am sorry for that, but in the future, I will invite you well within advance on eye care days. Please guide us, please enlighten us. So thank you very much, madam. In amongst us, our legend Ras Shastri, ex-director National Institute of Ayurveda, ex-dean Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar, Professor Hari Shankar Sharma, who resides in Osaka, Japan. He has already joined with us for his bless. Before Dr. Ganesh ji, I would like to invite him for his blessings. Respected Gurudev, Adarniya Gurudev, kindly unmute yourself, Gurudev. Gurudev.
Unmute.
स्वागतम गुरुदेव.
विश्व के स्वास्थ्य संरक्षण के लिए मेरी शुभकामना है. हम लोग आयुर्वेद में सारे विश्व में फैले हुए हैं और मेरे तरफ से मेरे सभी साथियों को अपने अपने काम में खूब समृद्ध होने के लिए आशीर्वाद, शुभकामना और सारे विश्व का स्वास्थ्य संरक्षण के लिए हम लोग जवाबदार हैं. हमारी जवाबदारी को समझें और सही ढंग से नात्मार्थम नापि कामार्थम अतः भूत दयाम प्रति जो आयुर्वेद का सिद्धांत है उस आधार पर अपना कार्य करें. इसलिए मैं मेरे सभी भाइयों साथियों को निवेदन करता हूं कि वो अपने अपने कार्य में हमेशा स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरता संसिद्धिम लभते नरः, सिद्धि प्राप्त करें. मेरी तरफ से सबको शुभकामना. धन्यवाद.
बहुत बहुत आभार गुरुदेव, बहुत बहुत आभार. आप आए और ज्वाइन हुए इस 98 इयर्स की एज में. आप हमें आशीर्वाद देते रहें और शतायु हों, दीर्घायु हों और हमेशा स्वस्थ रहें और हमें आशीर्वाद देते रहें. आपकी छत्र छाया हम लोगों पे बनी है.
जरूर.
मैं ये सूचना दे दूं कि मैं आदरणीय गुरुदेव के अंडर में एमडी किया था जामनगर से 89 में रसशास्त्र और भेषज कल्पना में, और मुझे गर्व है कि मैं ऐसे आदरणीय लीजेंड रसशास्त्री के अंडर में एमडी करने का मुझे सौभाग्य मिला। जय हो गुरुदेव, आपकी जय हो। डॉक्टर परीक्षित प्लीज।
मेरा फोटो दिखता है क्या?
नहीं दिख रहा है।
नहीं दिखा था।
तो कहीं बोली रही है मैं सेमिनार चली रही है, मैं बोलियो इन्हें
केवल
बहुत
एक वीडियो का वो होगा, तब तक आप ज्वाइन होइए। तब तक मैं अपने अगले वक्ता को डॉक्टर गणेश जी जादव जी को बुलाना चाहता हूं। डॉक्टर परीक्षित जी।
नमस्ते। हम लोग का अगला स्पीकर डॉक्टर गणेश यादव जी है, फ्रॉम पुणे। वो फिजिशियन आयुर्वेद में है एंड ही इज ए रिनाउंड फिजिशियन, और आई डिजीज में उनका महत्वपूर्ण उपयोग रह चुका है। तो मैं उनसे निवेदन करता हूँ, डॉक्टर गणेश जी, please enlighten us with your knowledge and share your speech with us. The dais is yours, sir.
नमस्कार सभी आदरणीय गुरुजनों को मेरा नमस्कार। गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी, ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स, and thanks for inviting me in this very important webinar. Myself Dr. Ganesh Jadhav from Pune. I'm giving my brief introduction to you as I'm very new for all of you, I know. I have completed my graduation from Pune Tilak College, and I have completed my post graduation from Government Ayurveda College Tripunithura, Kerala. Right now, since 7 years, I am practicing in Pune. I am practicing pure ophthalmology by Ayurveda in Pune, and my another center of practice is at my village place, that is Jadhavwadi. Every second and fourth Saturday, Sunday, I am practicing there, and I'm honorary visiting consultant at Agada Ayurveda Hospital, Kerala. I'm visiting there at every third Sunday of a month. Apart from that, I'm running a medicine manufacturing unit named Bodha Pharma, and under this Bodha Pharma, there is a devoted unit for ophthalmic preparations. The name is Drishtida. Drishtida is our brand, and under that brand, we are preparing different kind of medicines which are really useful for prevention as well as curative aspect of different kind of ophthalmic diseases. So coming to the point, as you know, blindness in Ayurveda is called as a linganasha. Linganasha, the person who can't perceive the, am I audible?
Yes, clearly, loud and clear.
Yes. So coming to the point, linganasha, there are means different levels of linganasha we can notice according to the ocular structures. Means first of all, we have to understand the concept of drushti as per Ayurveda. When we will get greater idea about the drushti, we can understand the treatment principle, or we can modify our treatment principle. So starting from the structures, I will explain my I will मैं आपके साथ कुछ केस एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करूंगा. स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द कॉर्निया, central part of the cornea comes under the part of drushti as per Sushruta Samhita. So we have a case of herpes simplex in which cornea got destructed, and in which there was a tremendous loss of vision, means less than 660 vision was there, and a patient was suffering with severe pain, unbearable pain was there. So patient was on steroid. He was under since 3 months he was taking the steroids. And when we planned pure Ayurveda, especially 2 times we did leech therapy there, and after that we put we done Shodhana Chikitsa, some Virechana, and after that we did some Rasayana medicines. So that patient improved up to 618. It is very rare to see, and his corneal opacity reduced up to 70 to 80%. So why I'm explaining this example, ki blindness which can be of any level, means beyond cornea there is a structure which is called as a iris or iris and uveitis. It is a iridocyclitis or uveitis is the condition in which we can see means Ayurveda has great potential to reverse this condition. Many a times uveitis is having systemic impression like rheumatoid arthritis or any other immunity challenging condition in which we can see frequent episodes of uveitis which leads to severe reduction in the vision. So uveitis needs proper planned treatment locally as well as systemically. Means we have to rule out the cause, we have to treat the root disease, then only we can get proper optimum result in this kind of cases. So beyond that, we can see the structure cataract, means lens. So opacity of the lens can create blindness. So to avoid that, it is very difficult to avoid blindness if the cataract is at aggravated stage or third or fourth stage. We can prevent that, or we can postpone the surgery for maximum duration if the cataract is within means at its onset. So beyond that, it is a vitreous gel structure. So vitreous, I don't have personal experience to treat vitreitis cases many more, but I can say we can deal better if the patients are having simple vitreous floaters, onset of vitreal floaters. Means floaters can be subsided as it is a most of the time degenerative condition. Rasayana chikitsa, Bruhana chikitsa will help in this condition. Beyond that, there is a structure called retina. Retina, especially central part of the retina, which is important for the creation of the vision. So central part of the retina means my area of interest is basically posterior segment. I like to treat the cases of means diabetic retinopathy, age-related macular degeneration, then beyond that optic neuritis kind of cases. So in this, Ayurveda is means having great immense potential. Means we are having documented 15 to 17 cases which are having diabetic retinopathy, aggravated diabetic retinopathy, in which we can treat very well with the help of means proper plan. So I will come to the my basic means introduction of my basic products. So I would like to share slide share. Hello.
Yes, you are presenter now.
We are having a herbal tea which is called Drishtida herbal tea. Jivanti is the main ingredient in it, and we have taken very great efforts to cultivate that Jivanti. We have cultivated means we have collected that sample from Kutch area of the Gujarat, and we are cultivating as it is a critically endangered species, and it is very important plant in the regenerating aspects or regenerating conditions of the eyes. So it is a nice antioxidant. Apart from Jivanti, it contains Amalaki, Yashti, Draksha, then Anantamula, Tvak, Shunti. Likewise, this contents helps to reduce eye strain, helps to strengthen ocular muscles, soothing effect of the eyes, and ultimately it helps for stabilization of good vision. So after Drishtida herbal tea, we are using Nayanabhyanga oil. It is a oil which contains Yashti Madhu, Chandana, Darvi like content, which are very useful to reduce eye strain that occurs as a result of overuse of screen or mobile. So we asked to apply it externally, external massage only. It really helps to minimize dark circle around the eyes, as well as is reduce muscle fatigue. Hence, it helps for the better vision. So Uttama Rasayan is our another combination which we are using especially in the degenerative kind of conditions. It is a herbomineral preparation which contains Triphala Yashti Madhu, Rasanjana Guduchi, Shatavari, Abraga Basma, Makshika Basma, Rajata Basma, Yeshada Basma. So this combination is very effective in complicated refractive errors. It helps in post wound healing and also helps to avoid post-surgical complications. This is this I am using in age-related macular degeneration also, which is very nice medicine in preventive aspect. So one more our product is Netra Doshagni tablet. Netra Doshagni tablet is a pure herbal tablet. Means when ophthalmic diseases are having Santarpana Janita Samprapti, Sroto Rodha Pradhana Samprapti, in which Dosha Pachana, Sroto Lagavata is expected. At that time, this medicine is very effective, especially lifestyle diseases. It is a means effective retinotonic. It is a hepatoprotective, as well as it reduces toxic effect of the other medicines. Means when iatrogenic condition is there, it reduces toxic effect of that medicine to the retina. So it is proving very effective in diabetic retinopathy kind of situation. So these are our products, and we are also having one combination which is called Drishtida eye wash powder, which is a combination of Chandana Padmaka Mustaka Ushira, Triphala Amalaki Draksha Lodra, etc. So this eye wash powder helps to treat blurriness as well as burning sensation, eye strain of the eyes. It is it is having very refreshing and cooling effect to the eyes, and it is very effective or useful in computer vision syndrome. It also helps to maintain good vision. So these kind of products are really helpful to maintain the vision and hence to avoid complication of the other diseases also. We are having one more important medicine which is named as a Saptamruta Prasha. There is very popular medicine in Ayurveda which is called as Saptamruta Loha. So many of the doctors may know that Saptamruta Loha is the medicine which contains total 7 ingredients. Means when madhu, that is ghee, honey and ghee is with other ingredients, then only it becomes Saptamruta content. Then we have to give it with Anupana only. That is why we have transformed this medicine in the form of Avaleha. It contains Amalaki, Vibhitaki, Haritaki, Yashti, Loha Vasma. It is prepared by using Desi cow ghee, honey, Twak Pippali Ela, which are mild appetizer, as well as means Pippali is helps to reduce the excessive kapha also. So it is a in which means in this preparation we have used sulfur-free sugar. So this medicine is really magic to nourish the eyes and to tone the eyes. It is very refreshing tonic which is composed of organically cultivated herbs, which I told that Jivanti, organically cultivated herb, and it is a rich source of vitamin, minerals, and antioxidants. It is also helpful to reduce eye strain. It strengthens the ocular muscles. It stabilizes good vision and maintains equilibrium inside the eyes. It is a good source of natural iron without causing constipation. Hence, it is also very safe in pregnancy. So these are the products and these are the things which we are doing for the sake of eyes. That's all in my presentation. Thank you.
Great, great. In young age, you have established eye clinic. This is also a matter of proud. Just to inform that in the BAMS, when I was studying in Indore, Dr. P.S. Hardia was there. Padma Shri. In last, he got Padma Shri. He was eye specialist, or like me, 2 or 3 BAMS doctor assisted them for 5 or 6 years. So my dream was also to join your community, but fortunately I have been selected in Gujarat Ayurveda University for Rasashastra and Bhasaja Kalpana. So really, today is the great session that I have learned so much with senior and youngster, both the age groups. No doubt you are Maharshis of Ayurveda and you are trying to contribute for Ayurveda. It is the great thing in our community. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ganesh. I am really grateful to all speakers today that they are joined with shortest possible notice. So now I would like to hand over the charge to Dr. Parikshit Devnath. Dr. Parikshit Devnath, Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji is with us, Dr. Jagdishwar ji is with us, Dr. Agnihotri ji was with us. So Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji से मैं प्रार्थना करूंगा. डॉक्टर विष्णु प्रसाद शर्मा जी विश्व आयुर्वेद परिषद आसाम के अध्यक्ष हैं और फॉर्मर प्रिंसिपल हैं गवर्नमेंट आयुर्वेदिक कॉलेज गुवाहाटी के. प्रणाम सर, वेलकम वेलकम सर. You are our guardian in Samriddhi webinar. Welcome.
सर आपका साउंड सही तरह से नहीं आ रहा है. सर साउंड नहीं आ रहा है, शायद इंटरनेट कनेक्शन स्लो है.
एक मिनट.
सर आपका साउंड नहीं आ रहा, इंटरनेट का शायद स्लो है.
हाँ, अभी आ रहा है.
हाँ सर अभी आ रहा है.
अभी आ रहा है ना. हाँ, हम सफर पर हूँ इसलिए थोड़ा सा. हाँ सब ठीक है ना. गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीबॉडी. हाँ हाँ, नमस्कार डॉक्टर पवन कुमार शर्मा जी for organize a very wonderful webinar regarding prevention of blindness. So today's speaker was Dr. Gokulan BG, Dr. Ganesh M. Jadhav, Dr. P.K. Santha Kumari. All the expert has presented their speech very nicely. And today we learned lots of things from all the doctors. Regarding this Ganesh M. Jadhav, he mentioned that he has developed few medicine for eye diseases regarding retinopathy and eye complication cases. He told that he has developed Distida herbal tea and Distida eye wash powder, Netro Desagnivoti. He claimed that, yes, it was very good results. So thank you, Dr. Ganesh M. Jadhav, for this preparing this wonderful medicine. We also can be used this medicine in our practice life also. But I will tell you one thing, prevention is best, because in our place, Jaintia Hills, Khasi Hills, in Jaintia Hills, people, they consume more lemon juice every day. That is why in their place, cataract cases are less. So that is why in that region, eye surgeon or eye doctors are less in that area. Because if cataract cases are not there, so they cannot earn more money. So anyhow, we have to develop. In Ayurveda, prevention is mentioned. What type of food we have to consume, what type of herbal drugs we have to consume. It is clearly mentioned. If we take daily Triphala with ghee, it will increase our eyesight. If we consume amla, it will help our eyesight. So I offer my sincere thanks to all the speakers for wonderful talks today. And thanks to Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharmaji again for organizing a very wonderful seminar. Thank you, Parikshit. Thank you to all.
Sir, you are unmuted. Sir, you are unmuted.
Dr. Anjana Sharma from Jammu and Dr. Ganga Adimani from Gujarat. Both have joined, and Dr. Jagdishwarji. If anybody would like to say anything, I would like to welcome all our experts here, all our dignitaries here on eye and blindness. If anybody want to add on the topic, please. Aji, Dr. Gangaji, kindly unmute yourself. I think there is no Dr. Jagdishwarji. Pranam.
सर जी नमस्कार.
का वैलिडिक्टरी आशीर्वाद के लिए संक्षिप्त आशीर्वाद वैलिडिक्टरी आपका नहीं मिलेगा तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा.
नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं दादा जी. अभी मैं लेटली ज्वाइन किया 20 मिनट और जब सुन रहा था दृष्टिहीन जो है ना वो व्यर्थ जीवन है. एक स्पीकर ने बोले कोई चीज ऐसा व्यर्थ नहीं होता अगर जन्मता होते तो.
हेलो.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल Surdas was also blind. But if you consider that his life, he would have not been a devotee of Krishna. Likely, whatever is by birth cannot be avoided according to sanskaras. At the same time, in my local area, one Brala Brahmachari, he was by birth blind, but he was Astavadhani, reputed Astavadhani, and was given many awards to him as being in Telugu poetry. Likely, as far as the discussion is concerned, wherever in spiritual line is concerned, if at all anything is lost, something will be added by Paramatma. I do not know how. But one thing is that if anybody lost, for example, the eyesight by more consuming liquor, then it is also a punishment. That is also going on. For my personal example, I am giving a little description that I have been diagnosed as short sight at the age of 52. But till now, though reached 70, I do not use glasses. Even now also I am speaking to you, and even writing also. While writing also, I use no glass at all. I try to maintain naturally and practicing also, and regularly till in last decade I was doing asanas regularly, and especially Sarvangasana helps much in this aspect as far as the sensory organs are concerned. And leaving aside the yoga practicing asanas, because my Gurudeva strictly avoided to practice Shirsasana, because before going to perform asanas, one should have the observation of inhaling and exhaling system. While performing asanas or whatever subtle things, meditation, all these things, there should be Chandranadi running. There should not be much running of Surya Nadi. Without this knowledge, people are going to practice asanas and irrespectively also taught. What happens then? It is different. If we go to discussion, it will become a that means giving a little thought to their presentations. As far as the system of practice is concerned, in Ayurveda, for example, even in these days, perhaps 50 years back, when I put up in this tradition, entered in 1971, I think people were using Chandrodevarti very easily in rose water. But nowadays, it is not possible. For example, we cannot give little to erase or to prevent, because the moment the Varti is put, there will be little irritation. If that irritation caused also, if they run to a ophthalmologist of modern medicine, immediately he will say that, no, it has reacted, it disturbed. Likely, our Ayurvedic system is much more being prevented in the common practice. For example, a little before our, I think, Ganeshji, I think his name is Ganeshji, he was putting up his products and explaining his products. I felt it very much pleased that if these have been in popular, that means in the populace, then they would have been more benefited. For my babe, that means my daughter's son, aged about 3 years, without tab he doesn't take food. Without tab he doesn't sleep. And frequently he uses, many times I warned my daughter who is BAMS that will it be a rational that the boy is always with the tab, it will not be good. But if he sees the tab, he will cry. That is the condition made. For this wave, immediately, the moment our Ganeshji presented that Saptamruta Prasha, it will be more better for that wave to consume. And at the same time, the tea also, what he has introduced, it is also, such a product should be put to the public notice where they can easily come across and should approach for a good use. Likely, if anybody takes with Triphala, with unequal proportion of clarified butter and honey, for a lifetime also, it helps in improving vision. It is said. And how many people are knowing? Just there nowadays they are coming to Triphala Churan and all these things. And along with Saptamruta Loha Triphala with unequal proportion of clarified butter and honey, it also helps very simply. What I observed. And usually I used to give in the initial stages wherever some blurred vision, simply Saptamruta Loha Mahatriphala Devrutam. It improves. And I observe. And at the same time, I asked them to go for good exercise of, that means regular practice of asanas, likely Sarvangasana and all these things. It also helps. Practically, in my treatment, I observed with them. If these products are introduced to the common people, then they will more prefer other than the medicines of modern medicine. Especially very less put in the public notice these things are. Likely, I congratulate them, and if that is been in a institutional, that means right from educational side is introduced, I think that many more children can be saved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for blessing us. Excellent learning session today. Excellent. If anybody wants to say anything, welcome. I would like to welcome. Otherwise, in this new year, we have automatized our certification system. Please click on the link to get participation certificate. We have given link in chat box. So everybody is requested to get participation certificate from that link. Only date and name to be filled in the Google form, and certificate will go to your email ID. Thank you. Thank you all. Good night. Good night, sir. We are meeting again for GXP series webinar. Thank you. Thank you very much.